Chapter 1: The Prelude to Disaster. The Bengal famine of 1943 was not an isolated event, but rather the culmination of years of political, economic, and environmental factors. To understand the tragedy that claimed the lives of millions, it is essential to examine the conditions that led to this devastating famine. British colonial policies in India played a significant role in shaping the socio-economic landscape of Bengal. Under British rule, India's agrarian economy was restructured to serve the needs of the colonial administration and its industrial empire. While the British extracted resources for their own benefit, they paid little attention to the welfare of the local population. In Bengal, a region heavily reliant on rice cultivation, this exploitation became increasingly evident as agricultural output was redirected to support the war effort, leaving the local population vulnerable to food shortages. The economic strain caused by World War II exacerbated the situation in Bengal. As Britain sought to maintain its colonial empire, large quantities of rice were diverted from Bengal to support the war in the Pacific, where the Japanese threat loomed large. Additionally, the colonial government's focus on military expenditure rather than economic development in India drained resources that could have been used for famine prevention and agricultural aid. This led to an economic imbalance, further disrupting food production and distribution in Bengal. The early signs of food insecurity were apparent before the famine struck in full force. As early as 1942, the rice crop in Bengal had been severely affected by a combination of natural disasters, including flooding and a series of poor monsoon seasons. Yet, despite the clear indicators of impending disaster, little was done to address the growing problem. The British government's refusal to act with urgency, coupled with a lack of sufficient relief measures, left the people of Bengal unprepared for the calamity that was about to unfold. In the months leading up to the famine, the people of Bengal began to suffer from widespread hunger and malnutrition. However, it wasn't until the devastating conditions reached a tipping point that the true scale of the disaster was realized. The lack of effective response, combined with political neglect, would soon result in one of the deadliest famines in modern history. British colonial policies in India. The British colonial policies in India had a profound and lasting impact on the country's economy, society, and agricultural practices.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?